Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. We had a special command appearance this morning to answer a major question that's been bothering people in Massachusetts. Their state just yesterday came out with a COVID vaccine registration site, and 1 million people ages 65 and up became eligible that had not been eligible before. Of course, it did not work. They were getting errors like bad gateway error or this application crashed. It's just incredible. Talk a little bit about what should have happened and the ways to really think about putting together something for your business. Should the state be developing these systems from scratch? I give some alternatives here. You might know I built one of the first large-scale websites in the world. The whole thing, including the data center for the silly thing, way back when. It was for Big Yellow. I don't know if you remember that or not, which was the predecessor to Super Pages. We were able to get it up and running in a matter of weeks from scratch, which was a database of every business in the entire region, multiple states. In fact, we ended up covering the entire United States before we even launched. We managed to get it finished like 2 a.m., 9 a.m. They had a press conference down in New York City, and the site was released to the world, and everything worked. It never crashed, which is absolutely amazing. In fact, we ended up after 18 months deciding maybe we should start rebooting some of these servers because they've been online for a year and a half. Of course, I was not running Windows, right? I have some credit here. I know what I'm talking about, kind of the bottom line. I think you might find this a little interesting if you're wondering about these government projects, because I also bring up Obamacare and what ended up happening with this $600 check that people were getting for being laid off over the whole lockdown thing. So here we go with Mr. Jim Pollito.
Charlie Baker's not having a great day. Didn't have a great day yesterday, the governor of Massachusetts, because his computer system to register people to get the COVID vaccination crashed. It's been opened up to people 65 and older, and apparently 1 million people tried to log on to set up appointments for the COVID-19 vaccine. It just crashed. It crashed. Joining us now to sort this all out is our good friend, who's usually here on Tuesday, but this is why he's such a great asset to the show, Tech Talk guru Craig Peterson. Good morning, sir.
Hey, good morning, Jim. Hey, not only was the site unavailable, but if you called 211, the vaccine hotline, it also failed. They couldn't transfer you through. So the frustration level was just out of this world.
It reminds me of the old days when you were calling and trying to get tickets to see the Rolling Stones when they went on sale, and the systems would just crash to try to get through. I have advertisers who I really attempt to crash their systems because I want to send them so many people for their system. That's a good thing. Like they say, oh my God, all these callers from the Jim Pollito show, or all of these people trying to log onto our website. What happens? Why does that happen?
In one word, incompetence. Remember the rollout, of course, of the Obamacare website? I said, hey, listen, this is going to take about 3 years for them to get right after it was already online. It took about 3 years for them to get right. I have done some amazing things and seen some amazing things done when it comes to websites over the years. You just can't find competent people in some of these organizations, particularly some of the larger ones. It is easy enough in this day and age. In fact, it's very easy. In less than a week, you could put together a website that is effectively crash-proof, that will automatically scale itself up. The question about why does it crash has to do with the components that they're using and the way they're spreading the load. It's not as though all of a sudden yesterday 1 million more people were eligible for getting shots and they should have been concerned about this. There just weren't enough computing resources behind all of this, kind of the bottom line.
It's like you got a bag that's rated for 10 pounds and you're trying to put 20 pounds in it.
Think about having a Toyota Prius, and all of a sudden you want to get 100 people into it. You should have known that since there were 100 people that were going to line up, a Prius just wouldn't have done it. You needed a couple of buses. That's why it goes back to incompetence. Let's not even look all the way back to the Obamacare website. Let's look at what happened with unemployment, where people were getting these $600 checks, right? We had the exact same problem. All 50 states had it. But there's an even simpler solution besides designing this properly, using sites like Amazon Web Services or Microsoft Azure that both have systems to make sure that you can handle the load. It's something called queuing. See, it's something that many states adopted for their unemployment sites. Very easy to add. I mean, very easy to add. I looked into it because of problems I saw states having, thinking, well, maybe I could put a product together for them. I found Florida was using something, and it took them all of about half an hour to put it in place. What this queuing system does is you go to the website, and the queuing system says, oh, the back-end systems are pretty busy right now, so I'm just going to give you basically a line-in number, and when the back-end systems are ready for you, then it'll all be well and good. Now, I've got to give them a little bit of leeway here, Jim, because I'm not sure what's actually behind all of this. Are they actually trying to tie in to all of these pharmacies' computer systems from that front-end website ultimately? Because there are so many pieces. No. Okay.
No, I don't think so. It's the super sites that they've set up, but I'm fairly sure that's how it is. Frankly, I have been suggesting, why don't we just put this in the hands of the people who've been doing it all along? And then it's their problem. Say to CVS, Walgreens, Stop and Shop, Wegmans, Price Chopper, all these places where you can get vaccines, send them to them. Just pay them and say, here.
Yeah, exactly. Why do you build a website in the first place to take appointments? There are dozens of calendaring and scheduling websites out there.
Yeah.
You know, you talk about these events, getting Rolling Stone tickets. Well, there's a website called CVent that is designed to do exactly what the state is trying to do right now. The cost on this is like next to nothing to use it. I've used it before for events. We use it for the FBI InfraGard events. It's so simple. And yet, no, we've got a bureaucracy. We have people who are here on phony baloney jobs, as Mel Brooks would say. They need to design it. No, all we're talking about is some basic calendaring functions. To your point, why set up these sites? Walmart has pharmacies in it, so do most grocery stores, as you just mentioned. Let them do it. Maybe have one of these things like the event or one of the other scheduling pieces of software or websites do the scheduling. Just let them do it. We don't need a whole new bureaucracy. They can't get it done.
Yeah, see, here's the thing, though, that's different with Charlie Baker versus when Deval Patrick was governor in Massachusetts, as you alluded to the Obamacare exchanges. And that site kept crashing, but not just from demand. It just wasn't designed well. It was a mess. But the difference, Deval Patrick just made excuses about it. Charlie Baker went out, I think Wednesday, and said, yep, it's all ready to go, which, knowing what I know about Charlie Baker when he ran Harvard Pilgrim Healthcare, he went to the person and said, is this ready to go? Are you sure? Okay. He went out there. That's why yesterday he actually used the word, I'm pissed, which I think is better for him to say, when he will say, I own it, I'm pissed, it's got to be fixed. I would not. Charlie Baker's a really nice guy. Some people say too nice. I wouldn't want to be the person who told him, yeah, it's ready to go. It's all set.
The other side of this is the testing involved, because, again, you can put these systems under load test, and you should. And in the regular non-governmental space, we do put them under load tests and make sure they're going to work. Obviously, none of this happened. I can see why he's saying his hair's on fire and he's really upset. But so were all these other people. The design of this site was you went to the site, you filled out a PDF form online, and this form went on for pages. And so you're filling it all out, which I don't get either, right? Government paperwork. And all of a sudden the site crashes. It does not keep any of the information that you just spent all of your time filling out pages and pages form. So the design of it, even from that standpoint, was ludicrous. There is going to be a problem. The person's internet could go down. Their computer could crash. Your website might not be able to handle the load. Then what are you going to do? Because now everybody has to start from scratch again.
My goodness. This is why you're the great resource. Hopefully the state was listening. And Rhode Island is listening too, and they'll call in and they'll say, we got to get this Craig Peterson guy. Craig, by the way, while you're here, how would people get you through a system that would not crash?
Well, you can always just email me, me@CraigPeterson.com. And I have all of my podcasts and everything up at my website, which, of course, is also CraigPeterson.com. If you have any questions or anything, me at CraigPeterson.com, and I'm always happy to answer pretty much anything that comes my way.
There you go. Craig, thank you very much. I appreciate it.